Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack big company secrets and uncover what is really going on behind the fancy financial reports. Today, we're looking at MidWestone Financial Group Inc. And let's just say they've decided to change things up a bit, maybe a lot. So, what are we seeing here is a report filed on the 10th of October, 2025. Now, this isn't a brand new report from the horse's mouth, so to speak. This is actually an amendment or an 8TR filing. Think of it like a corrected version or an addition to something they filed before. And the really interesting tidbit here is about their usual quarterly earnings call. Instead of us dissecting their latest numbers and hearing all the exciting details from them officially on the 24th of October, they've decided to cancel that call. MidWestone Financial Group Incorporated is a company you might know. They're a financial services provider, and their common stock trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol MOFG. Now, the reason they've given us for this cancellation is under something called Regulation FD disclosure. Basically, this rule is all about making sure companies share important information with everyone at the same time, not just with a select few. And in this case, MidWestone Financial Group Incorporated announced on the 23rd of October, 2025. That they are indeed cancelling their quarterly earnings conference call that was supposed to happen on Friday, the 24th of October at 11 a.m. Central Time. This is pretty unusual. When a company cancels an earnings call, it can send a few signals. Sometimes it means they have something really big and positive to announce, and they want to do it in a more controlled way. Other times, it can mean the news isn't so great, and they're trying to avoid a Q&A session that might highlight those issues. Without seeing the original report or any further clarification, it leaves us guessing. Typically, these calls are where a company explains its financial performance, talks about its strategy, and answers tough questions from investors and analysts. By cancelling it, MidWestone could be trying to avoid exactly that. It is a bit like someone cancelling a party at the last minute. You start to wonder why. Now, in terms of the actual exhibits filed with this important amendment, we see something called a cover page interactive data file. This is essentially electronic data that makes parts of the report easier for computers to read and process. It is like a digital summary of the key information. Let's move on to the financial aspect, or rather, the lack of detailed financial information in this particular amended filing. While this 8TET filing is an amendment, the original report it is amending, or the reason for the amendment aren't fully detailed within this document to give us the specific numbers we'd normally look for. This filing is primarily about a procedural change, the cancellation of their earnings call. We are not getting a deep dive into their balance sheet, income statement, or cash flows here. This filing is more about managing their communication and investor relations strategy. However, if we think about why a company would cancel an earnings call, it is usually in anticipation of or following a material event. This could be related to their financial performance, a significant business development, or perhaps even a regulatory issue that they need to address before discussing their earnings. It is a heads up that something brewing might be more impactful than a standard quarterly update. We need to be clear, this filing itself doesn't give us the financial numbers. It is a notification about a communication event that won't be happening. This means we have to look at their previous reports, or wait for their next official announcement if they reschedule or release new information in a different format. Think about it from an investment perspective. If a company confidently presents its earnings with a call, it shows transparency and an eagerness to discuss its progress. When that call is cancelled, especially without a clear, universally positive reason, it can raise eyebrows. Investors are left to speculate about the underlying reasons. Is it a strategic decision to consolidate information for a larger announcement later, or is it a way to manage negative news flow? The lack of specific financial data in this 8KNR is significant in its own way. It means the focus isn't on the numbers today, but on the event of not discussing them. This forces us to consider what might be prompting such a decision. It is a signal that something is happening behind the scenes that they deem important enough to alter their standard disclosure process. And finally, signing off on this report is Barry S. Ray, who is listed as the Chief Financial Officer. His signature confirms that the company is officially communicating this decision. It is his role to oversee the financial health and reporting of the company. So his sign-off on a decision to cancel an earnings call is noteworthy. So, what is my take on this? MidWestone Financial Group Incorporated has made a move that sparks curiosity and, frankly, a bit of caution. Cancelling an earnings call is not a routine event. It suggests there is something more significant at play than just a standard quarterly update. While we don't have the specifics on their financial performance in this particular document, the decision itself tells a story. It implies a need to control the narrative, perhaps due to upcoming significant developments, or maybe the present financial picture is one they prefer to discuss under different circumstances or at a later date. The strength of this move lies in its potential to manage investor perception. If they have truly game-changing positive news, cancelling the call might be a way to ensure that news is delivered with maximum impact. However, the weakness is the inherent uncertainty it creates. Any cancellation of a planned communication channel can lead to negative speculation, which can itself impact stock price and investor confidence. The biggest risk here is that investors will assume the worst. The opportunity might be for the company to strategically roll out significant positive news that would be diluted on a regular earnings call. In conclusion, this kind of filing from MidWestone Financial Group Incorporated is less about the numbers and more about a strategic communication shift. It serves as a significant heads up to investors that something important may be on the horizon. We will be watching closely for any further announcements from the company to understand the full picture. Alright, that is our breakdown of MidWestone Financial Group's latest filing. What is your take on this unusual move of cancelling an earnings call? Do you think it is a good sign or a bad sign? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this decode was valuable, please hit that like button. It really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, to keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. See you next time.